Brought to you by our sponsors, William Richmond Inc., Chesapeake's Bounty, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNellis Group Properties, the Southern Maryland Food Truck Festival, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, and G&H Jewelers. Live from the JB Weather Center, this is a weather alert update. Hey, good afternoon, or I guess good evening at this point, everyone. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you in the Weather Center to give you a quick update. If you were able to hear me fine, let me know in the comments before we get too underway with things. But just starting off here, we do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of King George and Charles counties now until 6:30. We've been monitoring this area of storminess down to the south, up across the northern neck, producing severe weather. We've even had a couple of tornado warnings with this clustering of storms as it pushes to the north and east. So we're going to get into the details here in just 1 second. Again, if you can hear me fine, let me know. Just to make sure that we are all good to go and good. Someone says they can hear me well, which is awesome. So yes, let's get you into our live next ride radar. Let's go ahead and get the composite turned off so we get more of an in-depth look. But this kind of shows you the area under the severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is really from about Pasai to the plated down towards Islands Fresh points south and east, down towards Nanjemoy, just to the north of Newburgh, and then including areas like Fairview Beach, King George, Dahlgren, on over towards Fredericksburg. As this area of storminess, you can kind of see where it is here, up along the northern portions of the northern neck, pushing here to the north and east. Just a little bit ago, if I can rewind this just a little bit, and I want to see if that's going to let me... just a little bit ago, we actually had a tornado warning. So this was right around 5:40. We had a tornado warning in effect for parts of Spotsylvania and Fredericksburg. That has been allowed to get canceled as the rotation within this cell has weakened somewhat. Let's go ahead and take a look at that just to see, are we still looking at any one area of location? And I'm not seeing one defined area of rotation. We might be looking at something back towards the Fredericksburg area, really where you're getting these bright greens and the bright reds to really kind of intertwine. That indicates where winds are going towards the radar, where winds are going away from the radar, and you can get them really close together. That is indicative of some rotation. We're not necessarily seeing any one signature right now that would indicate that. If we can switch gears here over to another one of our products here, this really allows us to analyze storms. This really allows us to slice into these storms. You can see we might have maybe a little bit of weak rotation on over towards the Fredericksburg area, but we're not talking about anything too imminent. And I really think the main issue here is going to be a decent amount of lightning. Let me go ahead and get a couple things loaded over here. Come back to our NextRad Pro, go ahead and get our lightning tracker loaded up here as we allow that to get loaded. Decent amount of lightning with this storm, moving into parts of King George County, getting ready to cross the Potomac on into parts of Charles County. So as this continues to push north and east here, do keep in mind that we are talking about a severe thunderstorm, and we've been talking about this through much of the day. Let's go ahead and get a storm track on here, then we'll kind of touch base on what everyone else can expect. I know you're probably sitting in Lesby or in Leonardtown or down towards, let's say, St. Mary City, wondering what's happening here, what can I expect, and we'll see if that's not going to work. That's awesome. But yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. But again, it's really this storm out here in parts of the northern neck, pushing to the north and east. And it's a pretty ominous storm with decent amount of lightning. So if you're traveling 301 over the next half hour, I know anyone that is, or going here through parts of the Charles County Panhandle down towards Nanjemoy, do keep in mind, you have a pretty decent thunderstorm moving in. Taking a zoom out, though, you can get the idea that we're beginning to see an increase in rain coverage as we begin to see rain push in from the west. And you can see we have a lot of rain getting ready to push in. We've been seeing these individualized, discrete cells pushing out ahead of the main area of rain. Throughout the afternoon, we had a tornado warning earlier for southern parts of St. Mary's County. We had Now that tornado warning on over towards Fredericksburg, that's been allowed to expire, and we have a lot more rain back out here towards the west, and if we put on the composite, it really shows you just how much rain. We have all of this that needs to come through, all the way back towards West Virginia. So we have these cells that are forming out ahead of the main area, and we're going to watch everything push here to the west. If I take you on over towards Futurecast, what can you expect here over the next, let's say, 18 hours? Give you a look at what that could be showing for you. Let me go ahead and get Futurecast loaded up here so I can go ahead and get those questions answered, because I'm sure they are coming in right now. Let's get that model data loaded up. Let's get radar turned off for the time being. Let's get some of these layers turned off here, kind of clear things up a little bit. And let's go ahead and get that loaded. Let's get... And as we wait for that to load, what we will talk about is the idea of rain really beginning to become widespread really by about sunset tonight. I think most of us will then at that point begin to see rain push into the region. Futurecast is getting there, loading. We've seen rain kind of increase in coverage already this afternoon. So let's step you through the next couple of hours. And I see someone's asking about Lesby, Hollywood. Let's go ahead and get those questions answered. So this was the model initialized about an hour ago. As we head towards 6 o'clock, we see those storms beginning down towards the northern neck, pushing north and east into southern Maryland. And then as we push towards 7 and 8, it's really going to be this time frame. If we see storms, this is when we would see them. This won't be a severe weather outbreak for us by any stretch of the imagination. But if we were to see storms out ahead of our main area of rain, that's going to push in from the south and west, and that would be between about now, anytime between now and about 8 or 9 o'clock. After that, I think we really transition over to a heavy rain threat. Maybe we get a couple hours of a break. I don't think the next 2 days will feature nonstop rain. We probably will get some breaks in there, but you will see rain just continues to stream on into the region, just kind of nonstop, and then as we head into tomorrow morning, that rain will continue. Just over the next 18 hours, this model tries to put down a decent amount of rain. I mean, anywhere shaded in blue just over the next 18 hours is around an inch or so of rain. Those yellows and oranges, that's an inch and a half of rain. So we're going to see rain really move into the region, and it could really try to focus down here in southern Maryland over the next little bit as we continue to watch rain move in from the west. So let's come back on over towards live radar. I hope that gets some of those questions answered. Sort of timing, what can I expect in my backyard? That's the goal. Granted, I can't get to everyone, but let's go ahead and get that. Get this back loaded up. Let's turn the lightning back on our warnings. And yeah, you can see this storm that's getting ready to move into Charles County, producing a decent amount of lightning. And I would assume if I come over to get our MDOT cameras loaded up, that 301 bridge camera should show these pretty nice. Let's see. There we go. I want to make sure that we are loaded up here onto the MDOT cameras. There we go. All right, let's take a look down here, down towards the 301 bridge here. We can make this a little bit bigger as it loads up. Maybe not. Seems like whenever I need to do something, things just don't like to work. There we go. Taking a look here. This is the 301 bridge. This is on the Virginia side of things. But you can see rain beginning to fall, kind of really beginning to come across the Potomac. We're getting some waves here. I want to see if we can get some of these other cameras loaded up. They should be able to show the storm moving in nice. You can kind of see the wall of water back here, back towards King George County here. And that's really, I think, what we're going to be talking about. These storms continuing to push on in, producing a decent amount of lightning as well, wind, and a little bit of thunder. This is, I think, going to be the theme as we head through much of the night tonight. I don't think, at least through about 8, 9 o'clock, maybe some scattered thunderstorms as these storms try to push north and east. See if our tracking wants to, there we go, wants to work with us. Let's do the core part of this storm. Let's see, we want to put this 56. Seems about right at 35, 36 works. So this is just a rough idea about timing. This would be pushing into the plate here in about the next 15 minutes, pushing on over towards Prince Frederick by about 6:40, Huntingtown 6:45. So this is a general idea of what you can expect on over towards Mechanicsville in about the next 25, 30 minutes or so. And I think the worst of this will probably stay in Charles County, but I would definitely go ahead and just stay aware that this is going to be pushing in here over the next half hour to an hour. Jessica, that's funny. To answer every single town in Southern Maryland and give you all that. Yeah, I get tons of questions, so I try my best to answer that. But yeah, that's just a general idea of what we're talking about with this storm. And really, the worst part of this storm going to be pushing up into western parts of Charles County, on over towards Nanjemoy, Indian Head, Waldorf here over the next little bit. So keep that in mind. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. No active tornado warnings. And before we head out of here, I'll double check our velocity scan. Make sure we're not looking at any rotation. Now, I'm not seeing any one specific area of location to really be overly worried about. What I am noticing here, though, on our velocity indicating pretty strong winds. So if you're in Nanjemoy, get ready. You're going to get blasted with some pretty impressive winds, 50 to 60 miles an hour here, probably over the next 30 minutes or so. And then further up on over towards Passai, Indian Head, even over towards La Plata. Do keep that in mind. And I see Angela saying it just started pouring on over towards Nanjemoy. Everyone gets on rain over the next 6 hours gradually. So maybe some of you like Hollywood, you haven't seen too much in the way of rain. You will eventually get in on the rain, I promise. And I think we are, by and large, 1 to 2 inches. We're going to see about 1 to 2 inches of rain by the time we head over towards lunchtime on Sunday. So not a complete washout, not a consistent heavy rain event, but you will get bursts of heavy rain, and there will be some breaks, but rain will be the main theme for tonight, tomorrow, and the first half of your day on Sunday. So go ahead, keep that in mind, and we will continue to go ahead and keep you updated. So stay tuned to JB Weather. You can see our social links there, Facebook and Twitter. Website is not up right now. Working on getting that improved. So just Facebook and Twitter would be the best ways to get those updates. So stay tuned. I'll continue to keep you updated. I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned.